Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato.
And I'm a creepy kooky cultist.
And welcome back to Mindbreakers. Today we unfortunately have a Geo episode.
Yeah. It's a good movie, though.
I don't mean an episode with Geo, I mean a movie chosen by Geo, so I am quite afraid. Yes. It is from 2017, Awaken the Shadow Man. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to give you all a quick rundown of the synopsis. It's fairly brief.
It's a super modern one. It came out 2 years ago, 2017.
After the mysterious disappearance of their mother, estranged brothers reunite and discover an unknown supernatural force. I know nothing about this. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched the trailer yet.
Yeah.
I'm completely in the dark here.
Yeah, I've seen it, though. I liked what I saw first time through. I've only seen it once, actually. Like, just watched it on a camping trip one day. And it's not like usual horror movies. It's a lot more just like kind of slow melodic, but it's also like a dark, extra dimensional sort of like ritualistic horror film.
Okay.
Like it's there is a monster, yes, but it's not trying to chase you down and kill you and eat you. It has its own motives. It's got purpose behind it, and it's not outright doing what it wants to do.
I mean, the cover does make me think a little bit of the Babadook.
A little.
A bit.
Yeah, it's close to that, honestly. I couldn't describe it as that. A little.
So, from what I've seen a bit, it kind of reminds me of... it's a well-known horror beast, but the Wendigo. But specifically...
Yeah.
But not the Wendigo of Until Dawn. The Wendigo of Pet Sematary.
But think less like the Wendigo.
Okay.
Because it's not like it's not per se a beast. It's more like more just like
the Stephen King Wendigo's fucked up and odd.
Yeah, but it's still not as beastly. I wouldn't describe it as like a corporeal monstrosity.
Dude, the Stephen King Wendigo is not corporeal.
Yeah, but like when I think Wendigo, I think immediately like corporeal beast.
I guess. Yeah.
Like vicious, brooding in the forest or something.
Yeah.
This is not like that. This is a lot more spiritual. It's a lot less like a lot less outright. I'm gonna grab you and fucking rip your head off. It's more like it has its motives.
Yep.
It knows what it wants to accomplish, but it's not going to accomplish it by its own will. It's gonna bend others to do it for him.
Okay, well,
it's going to be in the background, and it's going to be terrifying. If you guys want, you could watch this. Shut this off, watch this, actually. Go watch this, and then come back to
if you want to.
Yeah, seriously, I feel like they should, because...
without further ado, let's watch this.
Otherwise, spoilers.
Adam, I need you to come home. Bring Emma and Beth.
You can go in there, honey. I'm with you.
Oh my god, she is so cute.
Who are all those people that came over earlier?
What are you doing here, boys?
Friends, mostly people from Gateways.
That place and those people and Lawrence especially, just don't trust them.
How close are you with everyone in this group?
Well, they just want to help us, man.
Please don't tell.
Were you all right last night? You were crying in your sleep.
Adam! They're gonna fix us.
To overcome in the blood of newborn men, for I have sinned and shall repent. I call on Lord, I trust in you. From evil I return to prayer, for I have sinned and shall repent. To face to overcome torment.
I was saving this line for a movie way down the line, but this movie successfully rustled my jimmies.
This is an appropriate response.
This
children being taken away by an ethereal being.
This movie, I think, might be the first horror movie we've seen.
Yeah.
That has actually made me, if not outright afraid, because movies don't really do that to me.
Yeah, because...
At least genuinely uncomfortable.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing about this. It's not just outright terrifying, you know? It's not like, oh, the monster's there. Oh,
okay, I say that. Neon Demon did make me legit extremely goddamn uncomfortable. But the difference is, this one had that building the whole time. Mm-hmm. Neon Demon had fuck all happen for an hour.
That's what it is. This whole movie is build up.
Yeah, like, but it's good build up. It's unlike
really satisfying build up. Like you're constantly waiting for like, okay, what's the Shadow Man got to do with all this? Like, what is he planning? Like, what's he about? Well, you know,
I don't think it's even a he at this point. I think it's an it.
It is an it, yeah, but like it's the Shadow Man. Like it's the guy. It's the guy in the corner with the fucking claws. And he's waiting for you to fall asleep so you can take your fucking kid. Like,
well, he can't. No, that's the thing though. He can't take your kid.
Yeah, you can't just outright take your child.
You have to give him your kid.
Yeah, you can't just outright take your child.
So we start out. People, there's a woman running through the 60s.
Yeah, in Connecticut.
In a creepy basement.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what this has to do exactly with
I think it's she's running with her baby. It's another example of the cult fucking around a bit.
Yeah, I assume she was actually like taken by the cult and they were trying to like persuade her to give her child up.
I think she already had, but she was having second thoughts is what I got.
Yeah, and then she was trying to escape probably, and that's when, you know, she actually got like found and taken back, you know. And she's not taken by the Shadow Man, just like some guy was behind her, and it's assumably somebody that works with Lawrence, because Lawrence has been around for a long time.
Lawrence is a creepy sweater vest fuck.
Yeah, he's a weird one from the get-go.
I know this is one that I did like it, but I think you liked it a bit more than I did.
I kind of did, yeah.
So I'm going to give... Basically, I'm going to let you cover this one. You cover the plot progression.
Okay.
I'll chime in with my thoughts when I want to.
Alrighty. So
this is your show, man.
Okay. All right.
Because you haven't been working on your actual show.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you've been working on it. Just there's no fruits.
Very, very slowly and methodically, much like this movie.
Slowly and rhythmically.
This movie's a very slow burn, though. But it's good. It's a good slow burn.
It's not slow and rhythmic in the way we mean slow and rhythmic, which isn't. Insulting it for being like the Blade 2 video game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna sound. This is way off tangent, right the fuck out of nowhere. But someone actually brought in a stack of games, including Blade 2 on Xbox to pawn today at my job. So that was interesting.
Oh no! How much did you give him?
50 cents. It's an Xbox. It's a classic Xbox game.
That's what it deserves.
I mean, all in all, we got $20 because there's a lot there.
Yeah. So after the whole Connecticut thing in the 60s, we get modern day Redding, California, with a man named Adam.
Adamine, and that's all we get of his job.
Yeah, and he's like, you used to work at a mine. He ends up getting out of there and coming home to... Well, no, he doesn't go right away to his house. He goes to a laundromat where he meets... we meet his wife and his daughter. And his wife's name is... What's his wife's name again? His wife's name is Beth. And his child's name is Emma.
Yeah.
And Emma's a cute, chubby little baby, you know. Really adorable kid.
Yeah, his wife is Beth. There's also Yvette, his mother, who's gone missing.
Yeah, he gets a call from his brother saying like, "Oh yeah, Mom's been missing for a while. I need you to come all the way down here." Drives like fucking all the way to another fucking...
Let's just call it Stephen King land.
No, it actually has like a name.
It may as well be Maine. It's
called Orchid.
Orchid.
Yeah, he drives all the way down to Orchid, California.
Yeah.
And he ends up taking his kid with him. But at the laundromat, like...
He shows himself to be a pretty generous, nice guy.
Yeah, there's an old lady that drops some change.
And he
ends up, like, tries to look around on the floor.
She says it's the last of her change.
Yeah, and it drops underneath a machine or something.
he can't get it, so he just pretends he finds it and gives her his.
He pulls some out of his pocket and gives it to her. And the way
without her knowing, he just gave her money.
She wouldn't know anyways. Apparently, her eyesight's shot. So like,
it's like, hey, I found your money, and not, hey, I'm giving you charity, because there are a lot of.
Because if she knew, she'd put up a fight.
Because there are a lot of people, like older people, who will not accept charity.
She'd turn-based battle him.
Yeah,
like fucking like Mario RPG.
She challenged him to dungeon dice.
Yeah, and she'd fucking pull out her minotaurs, beat his ass with Black Magician Girl.
Why was that character so ridiculously fetishized in later stuff?
She's cute. She's like the first of the mainstream hentai ladies in the West.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
okay, My Valentine. Her name was literally My Valentine, the one with all the fucking harpies.
Yeah, there's no way any of those characters are getting out of there without being in at least one hentai. Nobody gets out without being fucked. Especially on the internet back in those days, man.
Else today, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, after that, like, nice little charity moment, they drive all the way down to Orchid. He goes to his brother's house, whose name is Jake, and he meets his wife, Christy, whom Adam used to go out with back when they were in high school.
Yeah, and she is putting the moves on him almost the whole time.
Kind of, yeah. She's giving him the eye, you know, like.
Well, she is like very sexual around everyone.
Yeah,
like she's just a sexual person.
Yeah, but like not overtly. She just kind of comes off that way.
Yeah.
Like she's not outright hitting on everybody, you know? Like she's not throwing her cat at everyone.
No, she's just
she's very sensual and just like the way that she acts with everybody, like, ooh,
like
you're looking good.
Like Selena Kyle in things.
A little, yeah, but
when you make the cat reference there.
Yeah. Less what is it? Less like seductive and more like kind of maybe condescending a bit.
Yeah.
Like she's a bit bitchy. Just a little.
Yeah, I immediately disliked her.
Yeah. Like the second you see her, you're just like, okay, something's not right with this lady. Like with both of them really. Like you look at Jake and Christy and you're just like, okay, something's off. Like right away. So they end up getting invited in. A bunch of their mom's friends are there from a group apparently known as the Gateway. And it's apparently a help group for people with issues. And these people are creepy also. Surprise fucking surprise. It's like most of them are alright. They're not just like all creepy whacked out weirdos, you know? They're like, for the most part, they're like just kind of normal people that are like, oh, I'm sorry your mom's missing. You know, this, that, the other thing. Like, we knew her really well. She was a nice, kind-hearted lady. Like, she was so pretty. She was always nice to everybody, whatever. But there's one of them.
Oh, I'd just like to tell everyone, never sign a Some of Us or Change.org petition.
How come?
They will never leave you the fuck alone.
Noted. So... Lawrence is the weirdest.
Yeah.
The weirdest it's ever been.
He looks like he should be Harry Osborn.
He is so off. Like, just so, like, scheming. You can see it behind his shit-eating fucking smile. Never before has the term shit-eating grin applied so appropriately to an individual.
Gio.
What?
Tell the audience if this is accurate or not.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we were introduced to this guy, I immediately called cultist.
Yep.
Immediately.
The personification of Heaven's Gate. Like, right there in this guy. Like, oh yeah, he's got the fucking comb over and like the fucking...
Except not a needed comb over because he has a full head of hair.
Still, it's
just
like...
has weirdly combed, non-moving
he's got like
hair.
All pushed to the side.
Your hair is only allowed not to move if you are a greaser, bald, or our PS2 era?
He's got the heartthrob. That's what he's got. He's got the heartthrob kind of going on, like Hollywood looks. He's kind of going for, but like suburb Hollywood looks. Like he's got the fucking golden locks. He's got the fucking sweater vest that he's wearing on him like it's his fucking skin itself.
Christy gives Beth a necklace.
Yeah, and like he's just, oh god, he's so.
We learned about the gateway. People get magic coins from the gateway.
Magic coins.
Oh, we meet Tom. Dirty Tom.
He's later though. We're gonna get to Dirty Tom after, because Dirty Tom is like such like he's just such an abrupt asshole, but he's probably the most normal person in this movie aside from Adam.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like, fucking, like, the second Adam sees Lawrence, though, he's like, who the hell is that guy? They're like, they're all, they're freaked out by it. It's like, oh yeah, that's Lawrence. He works with us and stuff, and he's really nice. He helps out the local charities and everything. He's always, like, fixing people's, like, houses and their problems. He's a really good guy. Like, he's great. You should go by Gateway sometime. Like, you'll meet a bunch of people.
Definitely check
him out.
You'll like him.
Oh yeah, we got this Hawaiian punch in the kitchen. You want to drink some? Like, yeah, really tasty. Like, we made it just an hour ago. Yeah, it's fresh. Great. It's clean. Put some ice cubes in that shit. It's wonderful. So he's just kind of like, alrighty then. Everybody kind of leaves.
Yeah.
And as he leaves, like, Lawrence is like, oh yeah, your mother was such a nice person. Like, I was really good friends with her. Like, we got along really well, and he's, like, smiling his fucking creepy ass.
He's fucking creepy, and I don't like him.
Like, creep. Creep.
He does the creep.
He do the creep. He is the creep. And as soon as everybody leaves, he kind of looks out and, like, sees... Like, we see this guy in the bushes with, like, a hood over his head. And I'm not sure really what he's there for.
The guy with the hood?
Yeah.
He does nothing. He never comes back.
Yeah, I don't think he ever shows up again. I think it's kind of hinting at the end. Like, it kind of goes like a little bit of full circle. Sort of.
Oh, yeah, because he does the hood thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that like all the way.
No, that's not even a spoiler because he's there in the trailer.
Yeah,
doing that.
I guess. But we'll kind of circle back around to it afterwards. Because, like, that's kind of the idea I got from it. Like, that's kind of the vibe I got. But, yeah, so, talk about gateways, whatever. The girl, Jake's wife, Christy, ends up, like, going into the room and starts talking to Beth, and she's like, oh, yeah, like, how you guys settling in? You guys okay? Like, you guys are doing all right?
She's being too nice, and I don't trust her.
Oh, look at the baby. Like, oh, wow, Emma's getting so big. Yeah.
Perfect to sacrifice to our dark god.
Yeah, look at all the meat on her. It's going to be fucking delicious. Like, and she might as well be drooling over her. Fucking awful.
Yeah, Cthulhu for Target.
Yeah. She's like, you.
Yeah, I do get a distinctly Innsmouthy vibe from this
Oh,
place.
yeah, it's super Cthulhu.
In hindsight.
It's very Cthulhu. It's very,
No,
like,
it's not
King.
Innsmouthy. Because they're very like, oh, hello, stranger. Welcome to our happy little neighborhood instead of, we don't like strangers here.
It's not entirely Shining, though. It's like, it's a little bit King. It's a little bit
I didn't say it's very King. I said it feels like it could have been written by King.
The beginning is King. Like, the beginning is Shining. When they're driving.
Well, yeah, but that's just a
but that opening shot is The Shining.
Well, it's not the opening shot. But...
Well, it's like the credit scene. And they're just kind of, like, when they're going up there, it's the drive up to the hotel. But so they talk about the kids for a little bit, and they're just kind of shooting the shit about things from their hometown and everything. I think she ends up talking about money issues a little bit with Christy, something like that. They touch on a bunch of little things here and there. But yeah, that night, like, Adam goes to sleep, and he ends up waking up in the middle of the night, and he sees that Beth isn't with him, And he's like, Beth, where is she?
Can
So like
I,
he goes down
say
to the
what she's
kitchen.
doing?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's microwaving popcorn to the point where it's bleeding oil,
Mm-hmm.
and saying, "They'll fix it. It's under control. They'll fix everything. It's under control. They'll fix everything." Just whispering it over and over.
Yep.
And it's like, okay.
They can fix it. They can fix everything obsessively.
Which we actually know what it means now.
Yeah, but at first, it's
the
like,
fuck is she saying and why?
yeah, it's like, why? Who can fix what? What? Is she talking to Orville Redenbacher? He's gonna fucking fix her popcorn.
Okay, she fucked that up.
They can fix it, okay? Orville Redenbacher will fix my popcorn.
Fucking Peckinpah.
Sam fucking Peckinpah.
And then he wakes up in his bed.
Well, he turns around, he sees the Shadow Man.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up.
But not the whole Shadow Man, just like a slightly shadow of a man silhouette.
Well, no, it's the Shadow Man getting up.
But we don't see the claws.
But he gets out of the floor. He's just sort of he's foreshortened.
Yeah.
Downwards, and then just he was crouching
and
lets him up straight up, which he looks really good.
He does.
Honestly, I like the way that they did it. I don't know how exactly. It's just kind of a shadow, but the effects, the way that they actually managed to
this
do
movie,
they turned out nice.
It feels like it had an
It's
actual budget behind it.
Yeah, it's an indie film. It was I think it was Sundance Film Festival or something. First showing up, something like that.
Yeah.
It's an indie film though, and it has a good budget. Whatever money they got for it, it basically probably all went to the Shadow Man, but it turned out nice. Very very smooth animations on the Shadow Man. It's almost at no point are you going this looks fake or
Well, it's also it helps that
or,
it's just a shadow. It's not supposed to look particularly like it's really there.
Yeah, and you can kind of see where it's okay, you could probably it looks like he's just gonna kind of phase out of at any moment really, and he does sometimes, but at no point are you seeing really choppy animations or anything on him where it's just takes you out of the movie, you know.
Yes.
For the most part, they kind of blend really well together, and he's not even the main attraction of watching this. Really, the attraction of this is the story.
Yeah, he is the title.
Yeah, it's just really the story. He's just kind of everything circling around him.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm guaranteed he's not only in this one, this one town.
Yeah,
he's probably all over the place because later on somebody mentions that wherever Gateways is,
this happens.
He's there.
Oh, should we talk? She does show up now. Actually.
She shows up around
Angela.
this. So Adam wakes up and he ends up going to the door and he sees Angela, this girl from
high school,
his high school days,
who seems a bit drugged out.
Yeah, and she's got tattoos on her hands,
and she warns him
dark eyes, bags under her eyes.
And she warns him that these people are fucked.
She is disheveled and she is frantic.
Yeah,
she's do not trust these people.
Lawrence is a monster, and I'm there watching I kind of figured that out. Thank you.
Yeah,
he's clearly a bad boy,
and she's
not a bad boy, a bad guy.
Yeah, and she's don't follow along with them, don't trust them. These people aren't what they seem, especially not Lawrence. Is anybody else around right now? You should get the fuck out of here, And she's after that, she's come find me. So she ends up leaving. Adam talks to his brother, and they're we should probably go talking to some people.
Tom, Yvette's old boyfriend.
Yeah, they go see an old lady, and the old lady ends up referencing them to go see Tom.
The old lady's
and
fucked
Dirty
up.
Tom works at a metal shop.
We're just making art.
Yeah, he makes He makes art, and he probably makes a couple.
And the Hound is there for some reason.
Yeah, it's fucking Clegane.
No, he adds nothing. He adds nothing to the movie.
He's just a guy that works at the metal shop, but he looks like fucking Sir Clegane.
Yep.
Looks like the fucking Hound. It's just like the bird, like on the side of his face and everything. Like he looks exactly like it, man. The fucking dirty, greasy ass black hair that he has. Like he looks exactly like him.
There's also Tom, who's a big old guy.
Yeah,
like looks to be in his 50s, 60s. But
Tom is he's
and then there's a weird ass raider guy with goggles and the Lord God hates liars tattooed across his chest.
Yeah,
who's doing metal work in just a leather apron. Yeah.
I'm like,
Nelson,
why?
Tell us how bad an idea that would be.
Yeah,
to weld topless.
Should never cook bacon naked, guys. Should never cook bacon naked. Like this fucker is like just straight up might as well just be like welding in his birthday suit. Yeah. Fucking like of all things though, like why God hates liars? Like
maybe it's about the cult?
Maybe?
Even though I think lying.
But they're not God worshippers.
No, but you'd think that lying is the least of the fucked up shit they do.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they don't give a fuck what God thinks.
Oh, they have their own god, the Shadow Man.
Exactly. Like, they fucking worship, like, fucking... They worship Neil Arthatap, you know? They worship the crawling chaos.
Fun fact.
What?
Flag from The Stand.
Yeah, they call him Neil Arthatap.
Yeah, well, they don't call him, but...
he's kind of known
Glenn calls him Neil Arthatap.
Yeah, they reference him as that. Yeah. But, like, I can kind of see where, like, the Cthulhu thing kind of meets, like, everything else in this.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, they are culty. Yeah, they're kind of brainwashed, and they do things so other things can get good, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, it's really, like, it's not entirely Lovecraftian either, though. Because...
Well, I think at this point it's its own thing.
Yeah, because...
It has shades of Slender Man in it.
Yeah, because you've got like way more powerful beings.
Yeah.
In the Lovecraftian mythos, you know, and like Shadow Man.
Shadow Man could fit in, but he is in no way an elder god.
He'd be way less powerful.
He's not even as strong as Cthulhu, and Cthulhu's just a priest of the elder gods.
Mm-hmm. Like seriously,
he'd be like possibly a servant of Yogg Sothoth.
Maybe. He'd be like he'd be just kind of like he could be a Lovecraft story, like a lesser being.
He could be a Lovecraft story, but not necessarily a mythos one.
Yeah,
something like Rats in the Walls.
He'd be kind of like a fiend for Neil Arthatap, I feel. Like a lesser guard for him or something, you know, like a messenger. You know?
A herald.
Yeah, a herald for Neil Arthatap.
A harbinger of Neil Arthatap. That's a good word for
kinda
Cthulhu stuff.
You know, like that's the closest we can kind of think of for that. But fuck, we get a scene where Christy is given a necklace.
Yeah,
Christy is giving a necklace to Beth.
We talked about that like 20 minutes ago, dude.
It's like a very small necklace, though.
I know, but it's not important.
I know it doesn't really reference anything.
No, that's said that it happened a while ago, though. Why are we still on this?
Yeah, but like I wanted to touch on like it not really doing anything.
It's just an example of her showing off the wealth to convince her.
Yeah, it's like here, have this thing. You know, we were given so much.
Yeah, it's just a part of the temptation process. I think
it's part of the fact we don't have a child anymore. But let's not get to that. They don't mention that. Like, wouldn't Adam be like, you guys had a kid, no?
Maybe they didn't tell him. They've been kind of non-communicado for a few years.
But like he knew they were married for a while, and
yeah, you don't necessarily assume they're gonna have kids. They haven't been talking, is what I.
No, but I feel like they mentioned
they don't
to them at
they
some
don't.
point.
They don't mention it though.
Like. Okay, you have a brother.
No, I
Your
don't.
brother gets married for several years.
Okay.
You know, they seem to be hitting it off really well. You know, they have a lot of money. They have a house together.
Cool.
Wouldn't you suspect they're planning on having a kid at some point?
Not necessarily. Not in.
Or have had a child
Not
already?
in today's world.
But it's kind of hinted.
I don't necessarily look at happy people and assume they're gonna ruin it by having a kid. Okay?
Oh my god, not everybody's like you. Not everybody's like my older sister either. Where my older sister's like, oh, kids? No. Fuck that.
Like, dude, when I look at a happy, wealthy couple, I don't immediately think kids.
But it's hinted though that they did,
Yeah.
and if Adam was like catching on to this, like he wouldn't just be like, "So did you put your kid up for adoption or something? What the fuck?" Like I would have asked about it. It would have been appreciated if he would have at least asked about it once.
He did though.
So Dirty Tom, ends up pushing them off, kind of being like, "Oh yeah, I got talked to by Johnny Law already."
He does go back,
like in his big hick accent, and he's like, "Get lost."
He's like, "Are you one of them?
You should go talk to her friends."
He's like, "Are you one of them?" And he pulls out a circular saw.
This is after though, like they go back another
God,
night.
there's so much of this. We can't go through everything.
Well, yeah, they go back another night though, but like they end up seeing. At first, they see like this one little statue, like
of metal is of the Shadow Man.
They see that at the night, and then there's another one with like it looks like just a mask.
Yeah.
And it has like a lot of like wiry kind of like chains and
We
stuff
find a
on
bunch
it.
of creepy dolls with blacked out eyes called the Watchers in the attic.
Yeah, up in the attic, and they get taken down by Beth.
Yeah.
And they all have Watchers written on them. Which, I don't know what exactly that's supposed to signify.
It's never referenced again. Well, it's referenced, but it's never explained.
Oh, I think it's because, like, the mom is being like, oh, if they give the kids away, then the kids are the ones that watch over them for the rest of their lives. And, like, every kid might have been, like, a doll, you know?
Okay. So she gave away 5 children?
No, maybe several people gave away children and were like, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna make a doll signifying them, or something like that, you know, some such craziness. Because like it's fucking bonkers the fact she's making blacked out dolls, like fucking blacked out eyes on these dolls and shit, and like they just look terrifying, especially the first one. It's very unsettling.
Yeah.
What else? We end up seeing the coins in the church. During
Why are you going over ground we've covered?
The whole meeting and everything with them. Adam ends up bringing up the dolls at the meeting, and the old lady's just like, "Oh yeah, your mother loved the porcelain dolls," and Lawrence is just behind her, fucking smiling his creepy smile. It's awful. We get Christy talking about baby weight to Beth. Metal shop gets checked. I'm just going over all these things. Talk about the dating and everything. What else? Oh yeah, the Shadow Man ends up showing up like one of these nights, and it's after they've all kind of went to bed. There's like a little shower scene with Jake and Chrissy, and she's like, "Do you still have feelings for him? Maybe you might grow into into another thing with him." And she's like, no, it's not going to be like that, you know? And that night, like, the Shadow Man ends up going up to the baby, and the baby doesn't even react.
Nope, baby doesn't care.
Like, why
clearly sees the Shadow Man.
Yeah, like, why is that? Like, why wouldn't he care? Maybe the Shadow Man's just, like, so in touch with, like, the spirits of children that, like, they just don't, like, react at all. Like, they have zero reaction to it. Much like the fucking...
babies don't know what's scary.
Yeah.
They don't know to be afraid of things.
Like the opposite effect of dogs.
Yeah.
like with most other spirits.
Like a dog, dog would be barking at a... No.
Yeah. They should have had a dog. They should have gotten a dog.
None of them, really. There's only, one dog at one, but none of the people in the cult have pets.
Yeah, none of them do.
None of them have... That's kind of odd, actually.
Maybe because they're used to the Shadow Man. And they're like, if we get a dog, the Shadow Man is going to get freaked out by the dog.
Or the dog will never shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why. Like, literally, if any of them had pets, they would just literally be like, nope, fuck it. Can't keep it. It's barking too much. The Shadow Man keeps tripping them up. What do you think, Shadow Man? It's just like, whoa. And it's like, yeah, you have a point there, Shadow Man. I'm going to get rid of this dog.
He does go to see Angela.
Yeah.
Because, we don't want to give away every scene in this movie.
Yeah,
but he
at the end.
Oh, the guy does attack him with a circular saw. Or at least turn on a circular saw.
Yeah, and Jake just whacks him over the head with a piece of wood and just goes bonk.
And tries to stop his brother from calling an ambulance.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck though? This guy's gonna have fucking head trauma. Nope, don't give a fuck. Let's get out of here. Come on.
We find a burnt corpse in a woman's attic.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about this scene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this. So, they go up to the old lady's house. I don't know what her name is, but she shows up a couple times. They end up showing up to her house. She's part of the gateway there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly to what degree of...
They show up and they think
is.
they see Yvette in the attic.
Oh, it's her. She's up in the attic over there.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, we just saw our mom up there. We're going up there to go check it out. And they just burst right in. They go up to the living room and they see something covered with a sheet, like somebody sitting covered in a sheet. It's obvious it's a grown person under there. And they take off the sheet and it's just the charred remains of the lady's husband.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
Never referenced. Because there was a big fire in the town.
Yeah.
Caused by the gateway.
Yeah.
Which we find out later from Angela, and we get all the information about the cult then.
We hear about the fires before that too, though. It's referenced several times.
We learned that the cult's been setting them.
But
the cult set them, the cult did all the evil.
It's not explained.
Well, it doesn't need to be.
I know, but I feel like the charred remains in someone's living room.
The attic.
It's
entirely different. It's the attic.
It's just there, though. Why? Why the fuck?
I don't know, man.
My nudge. I can't deal with the fact that literally someone would just live in the same house as just the charred corpse. Not even ashes, the charred remains of just their husband, just right there.
Yeah.
Just get him, get him in a pose. Have him sitting in a chair. Prop him up.
Properly cremate him.
Yeah, prop him up a little. Maybe cremate him entirely. Then again, he was already burned once. I could see why she wouldn't want to cremate him.
I guess.
Kind of bad.
Put him in a casket at least. Don't just drape him with a tarp.
Right. Yeah. At least put him in the casket and put a nice little duvet over it. Put some flowers on his corpse. Say a few prayers, and then just maybe put him up in the attic.
Yep.
So that way people aren't coming over and taking the sheet off of him.
But he was already in the attic. It's them who barged up into her attic.
Yeah. What was that movie? It was a horror movie with there was a little girl playing with something in an attic somewhere with a white sheet draped over her. She was playing with a puppet or something, and then someone walks up and it's where's my daughter? And she's like, I am your daughter. What movie was that?
I don't fucking know.
I forgot what it was called, but there was some movie that basically she had a little white sheet over her and she was being all creepy. And then I think she got the sheet pulled off of her or something, and it turned out to be a creepy ghost or whatever. It's a kind of an old movie, came out I think early 2000s. That one, it reminded me a lot of that though. Because you're expecting something awful to be under there. And granted it is, but it's not what you expect.
Yeah.
You know? Imagine if it was just like, they pull the sheet off and it's just Yvette being like, "Ha! You found me!"
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. So, yeah, after they bust into her house, what is it? Lawrence ends up being outside talking to Jake.
Yeah.
And Jake ends up getting confronted by Adam being like, "Hey, you remember this girl Angie from our high school?" And he's like, "No, not really." And he's like, "This is such and such's brother." No, such and such's sister. He's like, "Oh, yeah, her." And he's like, "Yeah, did she turn out okay?" And, like, he doesn't really even answer that. Like, probably because he knows, like, they've got some dirt on her, or she just fell off the map, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm assuming he doesn't really know who she is anymore because she's just kind of, like, digging up dirt on them under the radar. But aside from that, we get like him chasing after Lawrence.
Yeah.
And Lawrence just goes across the street, and a car nearly hits Adam as he's trying to go across, and then he's just gone, like in a blink of an eye, just gone. And we don't know what the fuck, but he's out of there. And we don't see him until a little bit after. And we get Beth kind of talking to Adam, being like, I feel like everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine, you know? And this is like probably one of the more unsettling things, because you're like, okay, well that's out of character, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's seriously not her usual self. Like, easy to tell that. Because, like, the whole movie, she's just kind of, like, worried about the baby, and worried about money, and worried about this, and worried about that. And then just all of a sudden, I feel like everything's gonna be fine. Like, what? Like, it's obvious, like, to tell that, like, she's... Like, it's so easy to tell that she's, like, possessed by this point, you know? Or,
yeah.
like, she's been warped, you know? She's not her usual self. And Adam's not catching on to this, obviously. Like, if it was me, I'd be like, are you okay? Is your fucking head on straight? But he just kind of shrugs this off, and he goes to Angie's place. She lives in a trailer in the middle of the forest. She's got a bunch of wind chimes all over the trees and everything. And her entire trailer is like a conspiracy theorist wet dream.
Yeah. With all the lines connecting stuff.
Yeah. She's got like candles lit all over the place. She kind of explains everything to him. Like, okay, everywhere Gateway goes,
yeah,
a child goes missing.
Go. Yes.
Yeah, a child goes missing. And after this child goes missing, everything just becomes better.
Yeah.
Like, the fires happen. Like, there was a molasses flood, there was this, there was that.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a flood of molasses, which is hilarious to think of.
It's literally molasses just kind of came pouring in and flooded a bunch of houses, you know? And obviously this is going to cause some fucking damage because, like, molasses is goopy and, like, disgusting. It's, like, basically like tar. So you're getting your house flooded with tar.
Yeah.
So, basically, like, all these things end up going bad. Shit's awful. Gateway shows up. Kid goes missing. Everything's fine. Just like that. Like, fixed everything. It's either Gateway are literal fucking, like, miracle workers, where they can literally just fucking fix anything, like they're a bunch of Bob the fucking Builders.
Or dozers from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, they can. They're fixer uppers, you know. They're fucking fix-it Felixes, every single one of them.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Well, that's what they do. They fuck up everything. In reality. But this is like directly after a kid goes missing.
Yeah.
Child goes missing, everything's fine. which is the pattern with the entire mythos of the Shadow Man.
Yeah.
So, like, she explains all of this to him, and it's like they're kidnapping kids, and they're fixing up everything, and Lawrence has been doing this around this, around these places for forever, for a long fucking time. And he's like, okay, this is fucking bad. Like, I gotta call up Beth. I gotta see what's going on with Emma. So he ends up, calling her up as soon as he's on his way back to the house and everything to go check on them. Yeah. And she's like, everything will be okay. They're taking her to a better place. Everything's gonna be fan-fucking-tastic.
But it's not gonna be.
Yeah. He ends up getting back to the house, and Emma's missing.
Yep.
The little crib is gone. The crib is empty, and Beth's missing too. Like, Beth is gone, obviously, to Gateway. So he ends up heading over there next. Sees the old lady, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry about Emma. They're taking her to a better place. It'll be fine. You won't have to worry about anything there. Nothing's the matter. Everything's gonna be perfectly peachy. Yep. Then Lawrence Lawrence doesn't show up. It's Jake. Jake goes over there and he says basically the same fucking thing. And then his mom shows up.
Yep. It was a trick the whole time.
Yeah, it was an elaborate ruse. I rused you.
Oh no.
It was a ruse. I had to do this so you could get over here. Thus the ruse worked. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to get your kid if I didn't ruse you. So she's like, come along with me, She tells him something really off, which is like, oh, I wish I could have done this for you two boys.
Yeah, that's weird.
What? Which one would you sacrifice? Like, seriously. Like, who would you give away?
I'd hope it would be Jake, because he's the one who's evil.
Or would she just, bang some dirty Tom and get a fucking baby, and then just give the fucking baby away and be like, shit's done, Like, we're rich, kids. Look at this, We're fucking rolling in it, like Scrooge McDuck. So they go down into the basement, and Lawrence and a bunch of other people are there, including Beth and Emma. And Chrissy's, standing there also, and she's like, we're gonna give away this kid. Don't worry about it. Everything will be better for you guys. You'll have no more problems after this. So the Shadow Man pops up, and as soon as he does, Adam starts thrashing around.
Yep.
He gets held down by Jake and somebody else. And the Shadow Man
takes the baby
and drops it into, supposedly, I assume, the ether.
Yep.
And just disappears.
Now the baby's part of the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's gone. They say that they take them to a place where they won't age, they won't have to deal with disease, they won't have to deal with any problems whatsoever. They mention specifically just like Lawrence.
Mm.
And I don't know what exactly that implies. Maybe it implies that Lawrence is one of the kids that ended up getting taken. Or maybe he was the first child that the Shadow Man ended up taking away.
But no, that...
Or maybe took under his wing or something.
I don't think took away, because the main thing we heard from Angela is that they don't come back.
Yeah, I guess. And I find that kind of still hard to believe,
Yeah.
Like, because you look at Lawrence and it's like, how else would Lawrence be able to manage his appearance of being a younger guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, assumably, it's either he was one of the kids and he ended up getting taken to this place, or maybe Shadow Man took him to the place and he ended up getting the blessings from whatever the fuck, and then he ended up coming back over there as, like, his herald. Or... A better way of explaining this is he's done so many deals with the Shadow Man that he never has to, he never ages anymore, because he just keeps it up with, multiple rituals over and over and over again, which he's a good guy. Like, he's a good-looking guy, in all honesty. And if he wanted to, I'm sure he could have just, had a kid with somebody, multiple kids even.
Yeah.
And gave away a bunch of them. But I feel like it doesn't even have to be your kid.
No.
To give.
Well, I think it has to be, or it's not a sacrifice. Then.
Maybe, but we never get that kind of caveat
True.
with it. We never get explanation on that, which is why I feel like this movie needs another one.
Yeah.
And if at all possible, I would love for somebody to do a sequel on this and follow it up, because the ending on this is where it gets really up in the air.
Yeah.
Because we get literally just Adam walking down the street with his hood up, and he just looks depressed and disheveled and fucking fed up with the world.
Goes to a crack house.
Yeah, he's living in a fucking drug den, and he ends up going into his house, shut the door, and his entire place is like a Ben Urich fucking web of intrigue,
Yeah.
Just so many things all over the walls, multiple newspaper clippings, drawings of the Shadow Man, pictures of Emma, and more than anything else, pictures of Beth and him with Beth's face crossed out.
And one of Yvette and Yvette's face crossed out.
Yeah. And
because they're all evil.
Yeah, and it's multiple just pictures of Emma saying get her back, don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep going. And it just ends there. It just ends with him looking at Emma, and just his life's a wreck.
Yeah.
Assumably he's trying to kill them all and get his kid back. But fuck, it's completely up to hopes and dreams, You can only hope and pray that he actually would get his kid back. Cuz, who wouldn't want that? But yeah, that's basically the whole movie right there. But you should still watch it because it's honestly great. Man, what do you give this?
I honestly can't think of anything, man.
You can't even rate it.
I'm honestly considering not letting you pick movies you're passionate about anymore because this just takes too fucking long.
Oh, come on.
No,
You gotta give it something.
Well, I don't think this is the right fit for Mindbreakers.
Okay.
It was too competently made. It wasn't weird enough. There wasn't anything stupid. There are no joke ratings I can give it.
You don't give it a good joke rating. Then give it something proper.
5 out of 10.
Okay, cool.
It had 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But your long ass retell the entire. The fact that I had to watch the entire movie again through your review, your play-by-play of it.
I know.
Took 3 points away from the movie, man.
I'm sorry. I really liked this movie. It was really cool, and I feel like I had to, give it a bit of gravitas. I gotta throw it something.
Hey, that's funny because that's a company that made the movie. It was a production company. It was gravitas.
Yeah, right. So I had to just throw it into that because, this was really cool. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna give it a solid 7. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 triangular coins. The triangular magic coins from the gateway.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of Mindbreakers.
Yeah, honestly, guys, give this one a watch.
Next week,
let us know what you like.
It's another Geo film. Unfortunately, fortunately, it's not one Gio really liked. It's one Gio picked because it was terrible. We're going to be watching another dragon movie.
Yeah, hopefully I won't have to worry about any more fucking Dragonheart movies.
Featuring Danny Glover. Oh, there are more Dragonheart movies.
Lord in Christ.
There's a
hopefully I
fourth
get
one.
To slay them.
Gio, there's a 4th one.
Yeah.
And they're working on a 5th one. Dragonheart Vengeance, remember?
Don't I fucking know it. And guess what? That movie is getting the fucking gigantic berserk fucking dragon slayer straight to the fucking neck. And it's getting chopped off. Like the end of this fucking film review. Goodbye.